Greetings, this is gameJS. It's a game library, kind of like a D&D Lite game library, where you're able to have the gameJS file and then use some very minor HTML in order to kind of program your own game. So the library has everything you need to create a lot of stuff. Now this is the version 1 beta, so it builds some of the stuff for you. As you can see, some of it I still have kind of built for now, but you see it's very minimal HTML that you have before you import the library and then you build the game, right? This is the game board, and I'll show you in a second how you can auto-generate this and even auto-generate where the location of these two goblins are. And then you create your characters, which again, I'll show you how you can auto-generate them. And this is pretty much then the code that you're going to do for the game. You're going to add all the characters that you just did. So in this case, Goblin 1 and Goblin 2, and Alex, which is a cleric at this point. You could switch Steve and Alex. And then you give it the end state, which this one is exit, so you have to get to the exit. You could also pick death, which means you have to kill everything in there. This adds the exit later, which I'll show you because the exit's actually going to be hidden, so we have to add it later so it can be found. And then we run start game, and it loads up everything and starts the game. Creates everything that needs to be created. And again, later on, future updates, we'll be able to have some of the stuff just auto-generated, and some of it you'll be able to pick. If I don't want a legend, then I won't do the create legend command, right? You'll only run the commands that you want. There are some simple AI in it so far. I mean, super simple. It just randomly picks a direction and goes that direction and attacks if you happen to be in that direction. But there'll be, again, more built there as we go through the code. Also, all the pre-gen enemies will be stuck right here. So if you have a goblin, there's a pre-gen goblin. That's how we're able to create those goblins. But you can create your own enemies, and let me go to that part. Next is the game board setup. So kind of pay attention to what you saw here. The game board setup, you tell it the height, the width and the height, and the default color. That's what all the blocks are going to be, so you don't have to label every single one of them. This will allow you to pick one of those, and that will be the default color for everything. And then there's a key of what everything is, but basically your start point, which doesn't actually start your character there, it just changes the color for it. X's are blocks, and then we use a system of making everything the same number, so D1 is a door 1, it matches key 1, and then H1s are hidden as we go through and play this. And the beauty of this is, and eventually we'll add a button here, but you go into the script editor and you run the process function, click play, it will generate the board code for you. So the code we saw over here, all of this, and it puts it all in one line, so you are going to have to enter these, put them on their own lines, but it puts all of this on one line, and this is what's used to build. This is block 1, this is block 2, block 1, block 2. It builds this block by block, putting everything where you say it. You can also create your own characters. You can see the last thing I built was Alex. You will go ahead and enter all these things. There's some hints on what you can do, like there's only fighter and clerics now. This is coding, so if you don't do something right, then it's not going to work. Your code's not going to work. We have the ability to go ahead and upload the pictures into pics. As long as you put the whatever picture you want into pics, then you can go ahead and upload those. It's a 30 by 30 pixel picture, so just go to find an online pixel editor and just make sure it's 30 by 30. Create your characters, add them here, and again, I'm trying to make everything drop downs for what's kind of limited of what you can get so far. There's not a lot of options. If you have a class, a character class like cleric, don't put hit points here. This is mostly for monsters. Where its starting location is, it's generic attributes, whatever level it is. This will also play onto its specials, which we'll see when we actually play it. It's a player character, so I'll give it an AI. And right now, again, all we really have is dumb. as you build more AIs. And then you need to be player. You can only have one player, and that's the character that you're going to play. NPCs aren't built yet. Right now the plan is to make them so they play with you and they have their own AIs. So really you have one player that's you, and then monster, as we saw with uploading. I have two characters created, but since they're both players, I can only upload one to the game at once. And I get more goblins, and you can build your own characters, whatever you want to do in order to build your characters. But again, same concept. Go over here, run the create character one, and it will spit this out, and you can just copy and paste it into your code before you actually create the characters. So again, all of the game board creation code and character creation code comes first, and then you start putting in your settings before you finally start the game. So let's go ahead and kind of go over and look at what it looks like, where you have your character. Again, there's 1-1, that's the home screen, and the object is to get this character down to the key. And then right now the diagonal arrows aren't working, so you have to actually just drag. When you're done, you click end turn. It'll initiate the dumb AI, which again, they just randomly go in different directions. It also tracks your movements. You have special, as I mentioned before, so I'm just going to keep burning through my moves. End turn. Your stuff goes away as you're talking. It keeps track of this, and all this can be CSS. You can move this wherever you want to move any of this. You can make a lot bigger of a board, It has to start at C2, and if you want to add more of those lines, again, it's just a Google Sheet, so just add more border for what you want. Just make sure you get it right. This is 14 across, 10 down. This is 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, and so on forth, right? So you're building it. Oh, wrong one. So let's go ahead and keep on trying to get that key real quick as we're talking through this. They will attack. The other option is cleave, which the fighter has. And all of these, they only work on that turn. So if you use cleave and you attack and kill something and can't reach the other one, then you wasted your cleave for that turn. And in this case, it's not really smart. I haven't built a lot of intelligence into this. So if I click heal, it healed me above my maximum HP. So there again, it's not perfect. Just picked up the key. I'm going to head to the door and turn. Again, right now this is set for exit. So if I kill the goblins, it doesn't necessarily do me any good. You can set it so the goal of it is, and you can read it says kill the goblins, but that's just the whatever they're typing at the top of it. You say what the scenario is. There. So this is basically how the game works. You saw the hidden cells. Again, the hidden cells, the door one. Now that I have the key, obviously I'll be able to go through the door. But normally, the point is, unless you have the key, that door is locked. Now it turns this turn, so I can't actually go into it. But the door is automatically locked. I can't walk through walls. If you turn on console log, it has a lot more information over here with what you're doing. So you can see I put a bunch of different information on turns and ranges and how much everything is. So now I can open, as soon as you open that, it lets you in. It exposes all the hidden things. There's that hidden exit I was talking about. And that's what this did right here. I added the exit. Again, you have to know where to go. So 9-9 was. I picked the color pink just so I have something to look for. And now if I go into it, I've won the level. And you can build, and just refresh it to do it again, but you can build, and it has initiative. This has initiative, so you can see the goblins went before I did. And I'm actually going before Goblin 1. It has initiative, it has different turns, it has specials. So far built into it. Can't do diagonals, but it can move around. The arrow keys aren't functioning yet either. It does track your movements and attacks. It does let you know if you're trying to go out of bounds. So I'm trying to go left, that's out of bounds. It tracks a lot of things. All of the stuff that you see so far, besides the arrow keys, are fully functioning. You can do a lot of it. You can make this way bigger if you wanted to really test and have different things. I haven't done full testing. That's why this is out in beta. You should, in theory, be able to add other rooms, other keys. So right now, I don't think I have the capability. You can put a key in here, but it's not going to be hidden. As you can see, the logic to it, even to add a exit to it, I'd have to do like an add key and add hidden objects. I'd like to add potions and stuff right now, but really you can see what is available in the game. You just copy this HTML down, and then you build your own code here, set up your game stats, and then kind of play around and build really big, massive boards that you can play around with and add up enemies, whatnot. So again, hopefully version 2 I'll get potions, diagonal arrows working, a lot of other pieces working. As you can see, I missed the goblin. A lot of different pieces, but that's what I like to call JSnD, but it's a gameJS library that has all the capabilities in there. Do the roles for you, initiative, checks the states, hides, unhides, builds the board for you, holds the characters, and just kind of rotates through them as you go through. So, if you have any questions, there's a GitHub link that's going to be posted along with a link to the web page. But really, you just grab the files, download all the version 1 files off the GitHub, grab all the version 1 files, I'll have the link, and you'll have everything you need to demo out the first thing. It also has a link in the MD to the spreadsheet that you need to make a copy of to go ahead and do your own stuff. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.